Abby, thank you for being on Heart of the City.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for bringing these sweet little fur babies. Tell us who these doggies are today.
So this is Boo, and I got it backwards. That's Boo. This is Sully. They are part of a crew of 8 puppies and a mom, and they're our Monsters Inc. crew. So.
How sweet.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who don't know Abby, she is the founder of Local Fur Mama. So working predominantly with neonatal puppies and kitties.
Yep.
Yes. So amazing gap in this kind of space that you identified through your own foster work, right?
Yep.
So I love it. I'm so excited to dive in. And then you are just a Jane of many traits, it seems like. You wear a lot of hats. So we're going to talk about all the things. So yay. Awesome. These puppies, I just can't get over it. It's so sweet. Okay, so for those listening that maybe don't know you, give us like Abby 101. What?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, tell us who you are. Tell us about you a little bit, like in an abbreviated, high level version.
This is hard. Okay, so I am the founder of Your Local Fur Mama, a huge animal lover. I've been fostering for years and took kind of like the leap of faith almost 2 years ago to start my own rescue, and here we are. I'm married to the best husband in the world, but I could be a little biased there. We have fur babies of our own. No human babies yet.
You have 8, right? 8 fur babies?
We have 9.
9?
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh my gosh. List their names. I love their names.
So we have Lily and Nolly, our dogs, and then the cats get a little bougie here, but we have Balenciaga, Dolce. We have Harley, Rory Blue, Elio, Reagan, and Olive.
Nice.
So,
I was trying to memorize them, and then I was like, Amy,
It's too
there's
much,
no way.
yeah.
But I was going to try to rattle them to you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so you have your fur babies, no human babies yet. How long have you guys been in Chattanooga?
I came down here for college in, that's a good question, 2016, 2017.
Okay.
It was actually like very bottom of my list. I don't know what I had against Tennessee. I don't think I had a valid reason, but I was like, this is the last place I want to go.
Because you're from up north.
Yeah. I got a full ride for college. So at that point, it was like, well, I can't really pass that up. So I came down here and ended up realizing how wrong I was and that I actually really liked it here. And so here we are.
Here you are, making it home.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So you worked at like a bunch of the rescues before you started your own, right? You've been involved with all of them, it seems like.
So I started at McCamey. I think that's like the most well-known. It started when I was in college. I've grown up around animals, have always had them. Everything from like chickens and ducks to like cats and dogs to you name it. I have had it at some point in my life.
Wow.
And so when I went to college, it was weird, like not having an animal. But the thought of like being financially responsible for an animal just wasn't like something I felt like I was ready for.
Yeah. Good for you.
And so I think like an ad popped up or something about McCamey and the foster program, and I didn't even know that was a thing. And I was like, oh, like this is kind of cool. I think I could do this.
Right.
And so I signed up to foster, and they gave me a call like a couple days later, and they're like, hey, you want to pick up some fosters? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I get there, and they hand me like 3 of the tiniest kittens I've ever seen in my life. And I went home and like had a little small panic attack. Like I remember this so vividly. I had a class that I had to go to like shortly after I got home, and I was wearing my Apple Watch and I'm sitting in class, and it gives you like that notification that your resting heart rate's too high or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I know. I think I just overcommitted. I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh no, because they were just tiny.
They were so tiny, and I don't think I like put 2 and 2 together that I would be like, so responsible for like these tiny things that I have to feed every couple hours and stuff. And so actually, after that litter, I don't think I fostered for a good like 6+ months after that, because I think I was genuinely just terrified. I'm like, I can't believe I survived. I don't ever want to do that again.
How long was that foster stint? Like a couple weeks?
Yeah, I want to say I got them when they were around like 4 weeks old. So I had them roughly like a month.
Wow.
I had roommates, and we all, they helped, and we tried to, we were all in it together, but it was quite the experience.
That's a lot. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So when did you first start, when did fostering become part of your identity? Because you then eventually you started posting a lot on social, and you got a lot of followers from your fostering, right?
Yeah.
It became a thing.
After my first stint, I took a little bit of a break, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to ease back into it. Maybe get some older kittens that aren't so scary. And I just felt like that annoying girl that like constantly posted like on her Snapchat story of all these random animals. And I'm like, people probably don't care about this.
People do care. We love animals.
Well, I created a separate Facebook page and an Instagram account, and I like posted on my main, and I was like, if you don't care about animals, that's fine. But if you want to continue seeing all the random ones that I
this page.
am having, you go here. And then it was just a very like, I wasn't trying to like grow followers. It was mainly like I just have so many pictures and cute videos that I want to post. And I don't want to annoy everyone. So that's kind of how it started. But it kind of blew up, and I started being able to get donations for like kitten food or like milk or whatever I needed.
Would you
really
ask
cool.
for that, or that just kind of started coming in organically?
So a majority of shelters and rescues, at least in our area, they provide all the supplies that you need. So they provide all the medical care, and they provide all the supplies that you need. But obviously, they're all nonprofits. They all, struggle with having enough money to keep running and getting enough donations themselves. And so when I started to really grow followers on social media, I was like, I wonder if I like made an Amazon wish list if people would donate, and then that would alleviate something off the back of whatever rescue shelter I was fostering for, and it worked, and I just all of a sudden like never needed anything. I had extra to give, which was amazing. And so I was like, oh, I can like really do something here.
That's so great.
So yeah, it like grew a lot bigger than I was anticipating. It was never really in the cards that I wanted to open a rescue. Like it wasn't like, oh, one day I want to open a rescue.
Yeah.
That was never ever anything. Actually, people would ask me, and I'll be like, absolutely not. Like I see what these people go through.
Yeah.
I don't want to be them. But it kind of just fell into my lap in a sense, and I'm very thankful for it. Like there's a lot of hard days.
I'm sure.
But it's worth it. And, getting to see these guys grow up, saving them from, horrible situations.
Totally.
And then seeing them grow up. And then we have like a Facebook group. We're called like Your Local Fur Mama Alumni. And all of our adopters like post their like kittens and puppies as they grow up and stuff. And it's just so fun to like see them and be like, wow, we did that. Like because of the sleepless nights and
so
all
great.
the heartache. Like they get to be here, and this family has an animal to love, and
wow.
Yeah, so it's worth it.
This episode is brought to you by Forte Fitness. What I love about Forte's personal training approach is it isn't focused on body image or outward appearance, but rather lifelong wellness and functional movement. Forte has been an integral part of my life and has seen me through a lot of seasons, including 2 pregnancies, 2 postpartum seasons, and now juggling 2 babies while still doing my best to prioritize my workouts. The team at Forte is all about meeting you where you are. Whether you've never picked up a weight in your life or you're ready for the next challenge, there is a place for you. Your first step will be a one-on-one consultation with the owner, Adam Lozano, and from there, he will pair you with the best trainer to meet your goals. Text Adam at 423-838-0086 to set up your consultation and mention Heart of the City to get your first 3 personal training sessions for free.
So you really, I'm sure being involved in like McCamey and the other shelters, I mean, I think the way you've started your rescue is innovative because you're not like, you don't have a central location where they're all, existing. Like you really just lean on the homes and like keeping them moving through the community. So talk about that a little bit. I mean, you don't have a central spot to house animals. So it's literally probably either your house or it's someone else willing to foster.
So we are 100% foster based. We have no facility. It started out that way, honestly, just because, I mean, as a nonprofit, you start out with $0.
You're like,
dollars.
How am I going to have a building?
There's just not possible. But honestly, it's really turned out for the best because we get a lot of compliments from our adopters, and we have people that specifically come to us over a shelter like McCamey and HES. Nothing against them, but because all of our animals, I mean, from day one are in homes, they're integrated with people's kids, with people's other animals and dogs and cats. Like they come, they're so socialized.
Right.
They're so go with the flow. Most of them, like by the time like the puppies turn 8 weeks old, like they're already crate trained. We're working on potty training. Depending on how crazy the fosters get, some of them already know like basic commands.
Wow.
Like you're getting a puppy that really has been so entirely loved, has had so much like hands-on care. Versus a puppy that you're getting that kind of lived in a cage in a shelter for a couple weeks. But there's nothing against that whatsoever.
No, of course. We need that too, but it's just a different.
It's definitely like a different concept, and I think it's a concept that really works.
Yeah.
I mean, having a facility would be awesome, but also, I'm not complaining. Like, I think
It keeps
what
the
we
pressure on to keep them in a home, which is great.
Absolutely.
So how does your vetting process work for families?
Yep.
And
so
fosters?
we have a pretty extensive vetting process. It's pretty similar between like becoming a foster and becoming an adopter, because we put so much of our time and our love, and because our fosters put so much of their time and their love, it's very important to us that we are doing our due diligence on where they're going to, not only just to ensure they're having a good home, but also we want it to be a fit for life. I mean, an animal is a commitment for life, and so our adoption team is very dedicated in making sure it's going to be the perfect fit for both the animal and the family. And so they're very good about, talking to the families and figuring out their lifestyle,
asking the
and
right
kind
questions.
of what they're looking for in a puppy or a kitten, and not being afraid to be like, I don't think this puppy would do well for you because ... That's always just been our motto. Like, we're not starved to find adopters. Like, at the end of the day, we want a good home, not just like
any
okay home.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty extensive. People start off by filling out an application online, and then a member of our adoption team gets in touch with them. Our application is pretty intense, but then they have a whole entire interview that they have to do with our adoption coordinator. We require like home video tours. They have to video like the whole inside of their home, outside if they're getting a puppy. They have to submit medical records of any existing animals in home just to show that they're up to date. Especially because we do puppies and kittens, they're coming with a weakened immune system.
Totally.
And not fully vaccinated yet, so it's important that, we're setting them up for success. So we require that, if you're renting, landlord approval, that sort of deal. So,
wow. So you talk about your adoption team. What does your team look like now?
Yeah. So we have the most incredible team because we're a nonprofit with pretty much $0 at all times. Everyone is 100% volunteer. No one gets paid. But we have an incredible team that really dedicates, a majority of their spare time to the rescue.
So sweet.
And a majority of them, they have families, they have kids of their own, animals of their own. And they're spending, I want to say a good 10 to 20 hours a week on what they do. So we have a team of 3 on our adoptions team. We have a team of 3 on our fosters team. And then we have a couple kind of like admin girls that do a lot of entering of medical records and creating adoption profiles and that sort of deal. And then we also have a really incredible medical team. And we work with quite a few vet offices in the area that thankfully give us some good rescue discounts.
Wow.
So we've got a pretty amazing team.
That's
definitely
awesome.
Not just me. It's a whole combination of people.
What has been the timeline that's grown, from just you to now having the team you have today?
So when I first started, it was me, my husband, and my best friend Andy.
Okay.
And
what year was that?
This was beginning of 2024. So
wow.
I think
you've grown
February,
a lot.
March.
Yeah.
Is when the 501c3 was founded. It was
I
had kind of a crazy situation happen, and I called my best friend and I was like, how crazy would it be if we just opened our own rescue? And I was expecting her to be like, yeah, you're being psychotic, you never wanted to do this, blah blah blah. And she was like, okay, I'm in. It was so easy. I took a week off work and quite literally filed all the paperwork to get our nonprofit status and to become a business and do all the things. Created our website, fully branded. I was like, oh, I'm not just this random Instagram page.
Right.
I actually probably should have a logo and some sort of branding behind it. And so I just took the week off work and just kind of did everything I needed to do. And I was like, okay, we're doing it. And it's just kind of slowly grown from there. But
that's awesome.
Definitely. My husband and my best friend are my rocks in my day-to-day life. Not just with the rescue, but definitely could not do it without them.
So fun.
Yeah.
So do you guys have adoption fees? Any money that comes in, what is it going toward?
Yep. So our adoption fees cover not fully, but they help cover the cost of the vetting of all of the animals.
Nice.
And then we get a lot of donations. So the adoption fee covers a majority of the vetting, but there's still a little bit of vetting outside of that we kind of cover. And then that doesn't include any of like the food, supplies, if they get sick and they need extra medical attention. And a lot, because we do neonates, you know, a lot of them do get sick or need extra medical attention. And so all of that comes from donors from our community, which has been incredible to see. Like, I think, you know, we get ourselves into sticky situations sometimes. Like a couple months ago, we had a kitten. One of our fosters actually witnessed someone throwing her out of the car window into like oncoming traffic.
No.
And the foster saw it all happen, got the kitten, and like immediately was calling me and was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And so we brought her to the emergency room. And she, I mean, it was very bad. She had a broken jaw, both on her upper and her lower jaw. She had broken bone. I mean, it was really bad. And so we're looking at all of a sudden like thousands of dollars of vet bills. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how we're going to do this. And just one post on social media in our community, just like, I don't know, every time, like it never ceases to fail that, you know, when we need them the most,
I have the
show
chills.
up.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I get the chills all the time when I realize like just how much
people care, and
like,
how much of a difference you're making just by, you know, committing some time to this. And that's so amazing. So let's talk about what is the difference in care for like the neonatal animals, neonates, is that what you call them? Okay, so you know, that's kind of your specialty, right? Yep. You're mainly fostering from tiny.
Yep. So anywhere from just born until about 8 weeks old is what we specialize in. We're the only neonatal rescue in a 2-hour radius of here. So we get calls not only from the community, but we get calls from animal control facilities, other rescues and shelters.
I bet.
Like TNR groups that happen upon kittens while they're out trapping. And we pull pretty much anywhere in the 2-hour radius in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. We unfortunately have to say no a lot just because the need is so big and we just simply can't do it all. But, you know, we try our best. We try our best especially to take the ones that we feel like are most urgently in need of help. But the neonatal thing, you know, as far as care goes, definitely does require a lot more time and kind of training on the care. I think that's something, in my experience with McCamey, absolutely, like, no fault to them. They're a huge organization. I have a million things to do, but I felt very ill-prepared for what I brought home as fosters that first time. And I learned just how much people really don't know about neonates. They require such individualized, like, specialized care that even most, like, vet offices, like, our vets aren't trained on that. Like, that's just not something they see every day. That's something they don't know. And so being able to, I mean, we developed a whole training program for neonates now. So, you know, fosters like, I want to foster, but I don't know how. And we're like, that's awesome. That's great. Like, we can do that. Like, we can certainly teach. It's just a matter of finding the people that want to do it and want to be taught. But we love it, and we, you know, we do our best to even just educate. Like, we'll have community members that, you know, ask for help, and we just really can't intake at the time. But we're like, you know what, we'll help you. Like, we'll guide you if you know, think you can take it on. And so, yeah.
So what does it feel like? I mean, how do you navigate or handle those, like, hard moments when you're having to turn down animals, or, like, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of heartbreaks in what you do. I mean, what is that like?
There's a multitude of different things that we do. We definitely have a good relationship with a lot of our local rescues and shelters, and so we kind of all work together for the same cause type of deal. So when there is something that is more of an emergent need that we really, really can't handle, 9 times out of 10 I can find someone who can, which is incredible. It's just great to see the whole rescue community as a whole come together to help when an animal is in need, and vice versa. Like, we have a lot of rescues that we work with that will like stumble upon a case that they just really don't know, because it involves neonates, and they just don't know, you know, what to do, and they call on us, and, you know, help the best we can. So
So what does what does a week look like? An average week in like when you're in the throes of fostering, like what does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's different all the time. I feel like
right now you have these two, right? They're your fosters.
So I have these two, and then I have one pretty sick kitten at home. I try to not have too many like long-term fosters, so to speak. Me and our foster team are more so available for when a really sick animal comes in or one gets sick in foster or is not doing so well.
Right.
More of like on an emergency basis. I feel like I have a constant like revolving door of animals in and out. Sometimes we've been kind of slammed with puppies recently, hence why I have two.
Yes.
And it's just fun sometimes to have like this sounds horrible, but like a fun animal that's not sick.
Exactly.
Cruddy, but,
of
like,
course.
So it's a nice welcome difference, but no 2 days are the same.
Never a dull moment.
Our team always jokes that we'll like jinx ourselves because we'll be like, wow, like, you know, I feel like it'll either be like one of two things, like, oh, we haven't like got a lot of like messages today, like that's great, or it'll be something along the lines of like, wow, we're getting so many adopted, and then all of a sudden, like in like 24 hours, we're all of a sudden like drowning in something, and I'm like, someone said it. Who said it?
I know, right? Who jinxed us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. What surprised you most about running your own rescue?
That's a good question. I feel like the people, really. I mean,
Okay.
we deal with a lot of horrible, and you know, I think rescue brings out the worst in some people, but it also
Yeah.
brings out the best in people.
Yeah.
And being able to see, you know, our fosters and our volunteers, our team, our community, and how they all just kind of pull together. It's just a really incredible thing to see. And it also, like, it blows my mind, like, someone will post like on a Facebook group like, oh, I found this kitten, what do I do? And if you just go through the comments, like, so many people tag us,
Tagging
and
you.
it's like, it just like blows my mind that we're like to that point where people just like know immediately, like,
that's
oh, this
so
is who you contact for like a
sweet.
tiny little kitten. It's just like, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps all the time because I'm like, how did we get here?
I
Like,
love
this
it.
is insane.
Yeah,
So,
because your hard work. That's
Yeah.
what's insane about it. That's amazing. Okay, you've cared for, is it like over 600 lives at this point or more? I think I saw that
so,
stat somewhere, but what do you think your numbers?
Actually, we just, so from the inception of the rescue until now, we actually just hit over 1,000.
Wow.
I think we're like at 1,020 something now.
Wow.
So in less than 2 years.
Oh my gosh, Abby,
And
that's
then
amazing.
this year alone, we just hit the 500 mark for adoptions, which is insane. Every time I look at the numbers, I'm like, there's just no way. Like, I don't get it.
That's so cool.
So we're all pretty stoked about that.
This episode is brought to you by Chattanooga Shoe Company. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with shoes. It's probably my main addiction when it comes to shopping. One reason I love shoes is they fit in every season of life, and they can still be that statement piece in an outfit. Chattanooga Shoe Company not only curates styles that are cutting edge in the fashion world, but also their shoes are by far the most comfortable pairs that I own. Instead of only wearing the big brands like Adidas and UGG, I love wearing things that not everybody else has. And Chattanooga Shoe Company has introduced me to brands from all over the world that I would have never otherwise known existed. I get compliments on my shoes just about every single day, and I'm so proud when I get to say they're from Chattanooga Shoe Company. Use code HOTC for 10% off your purchase when you shop online at chattanoogashoe.com.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Which one of those like rescues has like changed you the most? Like, does one stick out? Does a certain story stick out?
There's a few. I think one of the more like recent ones that we went a little viral for was the story of Halo. She was this cat. A community member reached out to us because a stray cat had like wandered up on her porch one day and gave birth to, if I remember correctly, I think 3 kittens. And then they noticed that she was struggling to give birth for the remaining ones. And unfortunately, it comes down to just people just don't know any better, and it's not their fault. They just don't know. And so they left her for, I think it was like 2 days, and she actually had a kitten that was like halfway, this is graphic, but like halfway out of her for 2 days before they started being like, okay, something's wrong. And so they reached out to us, and I was like, please bring them to me immediately. The kittens that were born were severely underweight of what they should be, so they were born too early. and one of them had kind of like a ruptured hernia, basically. So organs had grown outside of the body. They were just in really rough shape. And mom had an extremely high fever. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's more kittens in there. Like, so we rushed her into emergency surgery. She had 3 more kittens in utero, plus the one that was halfway. And they were all dead, and they had basically like rotted inside of her, and so she had a really horrible infection. And I just remember being like, she's gonna die. Like I don't know how she comes back from this. I mean, she was in really, really rough shape. Her 3 babies that were alive, they all passed within 24 hours. I mean, we did everything we could. One of them was humanely euthanized, the one with the organs outside of the body, because they're, you know, that had to be painful. And so they all died. And mom, like, really, you know, I was really scared there for a moment. She came to my house, and I have a room in our house that we call, like, the foster room. And so I had her in there. And I had another nursing mom and her babies in there. And it was, like, an unfortunate situation of, like, I don't have anywhere else to put you. Like, I'm so sorry. But you could tell just how sad she was hearing the babies cry and trying to go over to them. My heart was breaking. And so my best friend actually... like 2 nights later, she got a call about about one kitten that was found just like in the middle of the road. It was a newborn kitten. And she called me and she's like, I have a crazy idea. And so she brought the kitten to me. We gave the kitten to Halo, and she just immediately like snuggled into the kitten. She was purring. She showed like the most like just like movement and like aliveness that she had in the entire time that I had seen her. And she raised that kitten.
I mean, how sweet.
And it just like brings tears to my eyes every time. Same. Just because, you know, the resilience of animals, and I really think that kitten saved her in a way. Like, I think it gave her like the will to live and the will to kind of like push through. Oh my gosh,
that is so sweet.
But they got adopted together, so they will be together forever.
Oh my gosh, her little adopted daughter or son. Baby. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so that's probably one of the most like memorable stories this year, and definitely one that like really proves like what we do is so worth it.
So worth it. So, oh my gosh, that's so special, Abby. That's amazing. Okay, so do you feel like you ever hit your just kind of like limit between being a caregiver and a fur mom and
100%.
Foster versus like a human, you know? I mean, yeah, I'm sure. Tell me a little bit about that and like what you do when you're feeling a little maxed out.
I definitely like have grown to learn my limits. It takes some time. It's hard because, you know, because we deal with neonates that really just can't survive, you know, without their mom or without some sort of help. It's a lot harder to say no. And, you know, so we get angry messages all the time of people like, well, they're going to die without you. And it's like, we know that, you know, it doesn't change the situation or make us feel any better. And so it's really hard to learn that balance. And my whole team struggles with it. I mean, I still struggle with it, but it's really hard to learn that balance of like, at the end of the day, like the ones that are currently in our care, like we can't save them all. And if we overload ourselves, then we really can't save them all. And so we try our best to like focus on the ones that we do have, the ones that we can save. And again, like we do our best to redirect people. You know, if we can't help you, here's all the places you should reach out to.
Right.
We have a page on our website specifically dedicated to like, I mean, it breaks it down by county, by state, by city. It breaks it down for like, do you need like TNR help? Do you need like, is this an older dog? Do you need like stray help? Like it's just broken down into so many different resources because there are a lot of resources that exist. It's just a matter of like having a central place to figure out where all those are. So we do our best to kind of help there and educate the community as best we can, you know, on the importance of spay neuter because that's ultimately what's going to help the most.
Right.
So you know, finding a balance and then also like learning your limits and taking time for yourself. I mean, it's easier said than done, and I'm kind of preaching to myself at this point, but
that's
you know, taking time to spend time with your family or, you know, do something that you love, or do something that doesn't involve animals.
Right.
And I preach that, you know, to all of our fosters all the time. I'm like, I don't want to overwhelm you. Like, that's the last thing I want to do. And so
but you have to practice what you preach to like set the example.
Exactly.
I get that.
It's hard to do that sometimes.
I get that. Yeah. Okay. So you have a background in kind of marketing and creative work yourself. How has that kind of informed or kind of helped the success of your local fur mama?
I definitely think it's helped, like, even just, in the marketing world, like on social media, like I think social media is the reason why we're able to do what we do.
That's amazing.
Like I feel like our stories not only touch people, but they also like educate and inform. And being able to have like that marketing background of being able to know like how to get those stories out there
So
in front
great.
of people has definitely been really beneficial. Also just saved us a lot of money. Like I didn't have to hire someone to do our website or our logo or anything like that. So that was also nice.
So
it saves us a lot of money.
Exactly.
But I definitely think that has helped a lot in just being able to, number one, learn how to like know how to run a business, because even though we're a nonprofit, we're still a business.
Of course.
And if we don't operate like one, we just probably would cease to exist. And so kind of having that background and being able to build that foundation for our nonprofit, but then also just having the marketing side of things has definitely helped.
Yeah, I bet.
With outreach.
How has Chattanooga like shown up and been as far as like, I mean, I know you said you weren't convinced Chattanooga was it for you, but what kind of like special qualities or, kinds of things have you seen the community do in terms of rallying for something like this?
I just think our Chattanooga community is so close knit. Like that may not seem like it at times, but really truly like everyone pulls together no matter what. Like during the COVID time, it was really cool to see people rallying for local businesses that were really struggling.
Yes.
I feel like that's something you don't see in a lot of cities or bigger cities. And that's something that I feel like Chattanooga especially does a really great job of. But as in specifics to like the rescue community, like that Halo story, for an example,
So sweet.
like her emergency vet bill was paid before we left the vet.
Wow.
And that's just, I mean, the way that people show up for us.
That's
It
amazing.
never ceases to amaze me. Like I am always so incredibly thankful, but then also just like so shocked that those things happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just crazy to see. It's crazy to see the people that really truly care and really like do everything they can to help us with our mission, even if they can't foster, but they can, share a post, educate other people. Like I even just see people like sometimes in the comments of someone like trying to rehome their dog, like posting like our website with like our resources link.
So sweet.
And like it's just crazy. Like I'm like, wow, how did we like get to this point?
That's so awesome.
But it's just incredible to see the community really like pull together for these little guys.
I bet. What kind of support do you guys need right now? Like what can the community do, or listeners that are going to hear this?
Our number one need are foster families, because we don't have a facility. We can only save as many as we have room for.
Right.
And so the more fosters that we have, the more we can save. For an example, this litter, before we could commit to them, we had to have a place for them to go.
Yeah.
And so one really incredible foster mom volunteered to take the entire litter for the first couple of days while we figured out where the heck
Where
to
they
put
were
them.
going.
Their mom is actually pretty sick, and she's got a really bad case of mastitis, among other things, and so she's on antibiotics and she can't nurse them. So as much as ideally they would stay with their mom longer than they have, sometimes, they
have to separate,
you have to. So these guys are all in foster homes now, and mom is in her own foster home recovering and
good.
just, like getting all the pampering she very much
So
deserves.
sweet. Good.
But definitely fosters. And
Okay.
with fosters, something that I feel like isn't well known that we try really hard to make sure people are aware of, like there's no cost involved to you. Like we supply everything you need. We
that
do
is
all of
huge.
the medical care.
Yeah.
We give you all of the training that you need. We have 24/7 support. You can call or text someone anytime of day or night if you have any problems, and someone will be there to respond. So we definitely have an incredible team, and we have, I feel like, a very good structure in place for foster families. All we're asking is for you to provide your home as
that's
as a
amazing.
temporary home for them.
Yeah.
Kind of like a stepping stone. So that's probably our number one need. Number two need is just we can always use donations.
Totally.
It goes towards our never-ending vet bills. It
Totally.
goes towards feeding these guys. They're little, but they eat a lot. So.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Yeah.
If someone were to come to you and be like, I have unlimited funds, and I want to donate it to your local fur mama, what would you build or what would you do?
We would open a spay and neuter facility for sure.
Wow.
It's definitely, so we have a couple here, but they stay booked out for months. And even though I think there's a lot of people with good intentions, sometimes they just can't physically get their animals fixed in time before they get pregnant.
Yeah.
And we just have such an overpopulation crisis right now.
Yeah.
I think having some sort of spay and neuter clinic in addition to what we already have that maybe helps bridge the gap that we have, and also some sort of like financial assistance. Like in a dream world, when I had unlimited amounts of money, I would love to have not only just a spay or neuter clinic, but almost like a low cost, you like a low cost health clinic for
Totally.
humans, but
Yes.
same thing, because there's a lot of people who have pets
Who can't afford
especially
them.
these days that really like struggle to afford them.
Yeah.
And so being able to be like, hey, like we can do at least these basic things for you. Like we probably can't do all these intense surgeries or anything like
No.
that, but at least, your basic medical care can
That's
be taken
so
care
nice.
of.
Yeah.
Just like some low cost vet
That's
clinic of
awesome,
some sort
Abby.
would be amazing. But
That's so
yeah.
cool. Well,
maybe
I'm-
I'll win the lottery one day. Make it
Yeah,
happen.
or I'm gonna manifest just a
Yeah.
crazy donor
Yeah,
calling you up after
exactly.
this podcast. What do you hope animals that you've saved would say about you if they could speak?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I feel like the majority of them don't remember us because they're so small when they
Oh,
leave us.
I bet they do.
But I just, it's my hope and prayer with all of them that they find the very best families.
Yeah.
And that they're so incredibly loved, to go from, like, these guys were born under someone's porch by a stray dog.
Oh my
So to go
gosh.
from, like, the dirt under a porch to, a family that treats them like their kid, like they're
Yeah.
everything. It's my
That's
my
so
hope for them. And I
sweet.
hope that, I know the mamas are thankful, and I can
Yeah.
definitely see like the gratefulness in their
Yeah.
eyes, because they have a remembrance of the life
That's
before
so
us.
sweet. Yeah.
But these little guys aren't not so sure. But
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, the final question we always ask is I want you to fill in the blank. The heart of your local fur mama is.
I feel like the obvious answer is just the animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sweet. The little fur babies. Well, thanks for bringing the Monsters Inc. crew today, and thanks so much for being
Absolutely.
on. Thank you for everything you do. If people want to follow, support, get involved, it's Your Local Fur Mama on Instagram and
Yep,
Facebook,
Instagram,
right?
Facebook, and our website is literally yourlocalfurmama.com.
Amazing.
So it should be pretty easy to find us.
Great. Well, thanks for all you do and for what you do for the community and
you.
beyond.
Thanks
so good
for
to have
having
you.
us.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to keep this one.
Yeah.
Thank you.